I was listening to Burning Fever
Huh?
on the way here.
Yeah, you were.
Dude.
It's good, dude.
Like,
You did good work.
that,
Pat yourself on the back, man.
dude, that is like big, like, battle anthem.
Yes.
Like,
It's what we needed.
like,
It's what we wanted.
at the get back, I was like, that's so good. So good. I was like screaming it on the way here. I was like, oh my gosh, why
What is
isn't
it?
more music like this?
What is it? Is it stop the fever, burn the shame?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me pull the lyrics real quick because that one, I was like, I feel it. I feel it on that one. Oh my gosh, dude. That one I'm super proud of.
Like the predator screams into the night. You
Nah. Okay, hold up.
me.
I just saved the only thing I did with that song is saved the prompt because it was important to save the
Yeah,
prompt that got me
100%.
that
Yeah,
result.
I'm kneeling at
It's
a
too good.
blood-stained throne.
But so that's what I was thinking about when you were telling me though. It's like, a lot of Christian music is it's good, but it is geared towards
A feminine
a
audience.
feminine audience.
That's right.
And as I was listening to that song come out, I was like, this is what men need. If you like metal, it's
I don't know. Yeah,
perfect.
because I don't know another genre. Maybe like you could probably step into alternative rock, But really
yeah.
and truly, the
Yeah.
heavy metal stuff, it touches and scratches so many masculine itches.
Yeah. Yeah. It does. It does. And to get it in a way that, literally is very it rings to your emotions was the part. All right, I pull up the lyrics here. Which I gotta share with you the other song too, dude. All right, Burning Fever. The part that you're talking about. I think it was in the bridge. Get back, I belong to the ancient of days.
Uh-huh.
Get back, you're a ghost in the light of his gaze.
Uh-huh.
The craving is a liar. The passion is a grave. I am washed. So this is the part where I was like,
Yeah.
bring identity to it.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
am washed. I am bought. And then the big one, I am not your slave.
That's
That
good.
was like,
It's good.
oh, it's
Such a good
so
build-up. Yeah.
good. Oh, it's a good builder, man. Oh my God. I might rename the album like Battle Anthem. I don't even know. I just need it to be like, I don't know. You're not going to it for pity. You're going in there to get like the song by Godsmack.
Which one?
I stand alone inside. Like
Yeah.
that, dude. Like I need like that.
Stand alone.
Dude, I need that. I
Yeah.
need that. I was like, just give me some crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But I will release it though. I will be releasing it. All right, we are live. We're live. We've been live this whole time.
We were live this whole time.
We're live this whole time. All right.
Do the intro, Albert.
I know for the people that listen, I'm going to be putting out a crazy album on Spotify for sure.
What genre?
It's going to be like new metal. So like a blend of, I say it's a blend of Korn with a blend of Breaking Benjamin and Metallica.
So some heavy metal stuff.
Some heavy metal stuff, and there's a couple of tracks that I add that industrial 9 Inch Nails kind of synth vibe to it.
Yeah.
And then those are like the genres that I'm like, give me Christian music that sounds
Like you're going to battle.
like you're going to fight, dude.
Like you're going to fight.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're gonna fight. Like,
What do you say to those listening who are like, that sounds like devil worship music, genre-wise?
I mean, I would say that modern worship music at one point was considered to be the devil's music, and then we said we love it because before it was hymns.
That's true.
And when they started transitioning to like modern praise and worship, they're like, "Oh, it's too fast, and this
This
sounds
is
like the
of the
devil's
devil.
music."
Yeah.
And no,
What is
it's
it? You can reject culture, you can accept culture, or you can redeem culture.
yeah, oh
And
yeah,
that's basically what it boils down to.
yeah. That's honestly what I've been thinking about with this whole AI stuff is, like the stuff I read online is musicians that are professional that are extremely worried about its impact, and it's going to impact a lot of industries. It's I already see it in my industry how
Right.
it's going to change things. But on the flip side, like as I'm creating this music, I'm not playing any of the instruments. I'm just writing the lyrics, and I have the vision for the sound. I used to be a music major, so I can kind of
For
understand what I want.
It's like
right?
we talked about, I think it was like yesterday, creating the music you always wanted,
That's the key
but
thing.
no one would.
No one would.
No
and
one
it's
would.
and it's Christian based. Like I already journal. It's like I was telling someone else. I've been journaling since I was 15, writing my own stuff.
Mm,
And I've always loved poetry. So a lot of the lyrics is a blend of personal experience and poetry.
that's right.
And then depending on the genre, there's a certain way to structure everything from the introduction, the chorus, the pre-chorus, the bridge. There's a certain way to plug everything in, and that's it. For like the EDM stuff that I put out there, there's a drop.
Yeah.
Usually somewhere after a chorus, I
Yeah.
do a drop with instrumental. But the crazy part is, it's Christian music.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on scripture, like you were talking about. You're not talking about like certain characters.
Yep.
Like Judas is one you probably weren't expecting.
Now, why would I expect
Yeah.
a song from the perspective of Judas?
Yeah,
Because we don't get the perspective of Judas.
You don't.
You usually get the
Of everyone
perspective
else.
of Jesus
right,
or a
Right.
disciple,
right.
not Judas.
No,
Judas never gets to tell his story.
no,
And so to have a song that kind of walks through his story and his mindset,
that's the mindset.
it's the mindset
The
because
regret.
that's the principle.
Yeah.
When you read about Judas, it's like understand how did he think? How did he get there? How did he spend 3 years with Jesus?
Yep,
Saw what he did,
Yep.
modeled after him to do the same thing,
exactly.
and then still trade Jesus for 30 pieces of silver.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the regret. Like I put it in the lyrics in there. The silver's burning in my pocket.
That's right.
I mean, like, if you put yourself in his shoes,
Blood money.
understanding, like when you can see the consequences, like walking towards you. I mean, it's no different than somebody sitting in a death row,
That's right.
and seeing that sentence is on its way. So in my head, as I'm thinking of, how do I structure the wording for that is, what would it be like to be him sitting there seeing the inevitable come towards you? But
That's right.
then the harder challenge is capturing the emotional with sound.
The
And
emotional-
metal was the perfect genre
The
for it.
emotional roller coaster
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
of just tiptoeing toward betrayal,
Yeah. Yeah.
getting the money and reward in your hand,
Uh-huh.
fulfilling the act,
Mm-hmm.
and not only looking Jesus in the eyes, but your brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and then watching the aftermath take place of the Messiah being beaten,
Yep.
unrecognizable,
Mm.
dying on the cross, and Jesus still wouldn't say something bad about him.
Oh man. Yeah.
And the weight of all, I mean, this is a human being. Sometimes
Everything.
we look at the disciples and we almost forget that they are human beings that had stupid thoughts.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
stupid thoughts, childish behaviors,
Yeah.
temptations,
Depression,
weird,
anxiety.
weird quirks.
Yeah. You read, so I was talking with Brittany about it the other day. We were talking about anxiety and depression, and I brought up, I said, let's bring up like Jeremiah. I mean, he literally thought he was the last one surviving after God had, I think, destroyed a city. I can't remember. And I think he tells him, no, there's 7,000 other faithful ones. But his mindset was, I'm alone.
Well, certainly him, but also
Or Isaiah. Think about him, knowing Jezebel's on her way to take me out. Imagine modern day times, and whoever's in charge and power is sending someone to come get
it was
you.
either I think it was Isaiah, either Elijah or Elijah.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah.
Who went to get
us.
the look.
Oh my god.
100%.
Yeah.
But looking at, just to give a little backtrack there, they were trying to see whose God was God. The prophets of Baal with Jezebel or Elijah. And so they go over this whole thing. But something's very interesting because during that event where they were trying to call down fire from their God, right? Baal tried. The prophets of Baal tried.
Yeah.
Even to the point of cutting themselves, and it still wouldn't please Baal enough to send out fire. Elijah calls down fire, and it happens. But then he calls down fire on the prophets. And he starts fighting empire with empire.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jezebel gets word of it, and instead of Jezebel being freaked out, the normal response to that of not only did the other God call down fire, but your prophets are dead, is I lost. To Jezebel, that was I can play your game. And she went after him. This is crazy. And the bro ran.
Yeah.
Bro runs.
Yeah. We just read he ran, but the emotions that he was probably feeling.
There's only been one time in my life where I ran for my life. Only once. And it was for a very short distance.
Yeah.
We were camping in California.
Yeah.
We were up in the mountains. And, dude, I was not feeling good. It was 2 a.m. Dude, my stomach was in knots. I'm I am going to puke.
Yeah.
And it's pitch black up there. There's no lights.
Oh, man.
I'm feeling my way through the campsite.
Yeah.
Trees, cement, park bench, another tree. Oh. And I found a spot where I felt like I'm not by anyone. I can yak in peace. And I hear 15 feet away, I hear a growl.
Oh my gosh.
And it sounded big. Bro.
Oh my gosh.
It could have been a raccoon. But in my mind, that guttural, beast-like growl came from a bear. And I took off into the darkness in the opposite direction.
Oh my.
And I am, when you run by trees, you hear.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling I'm so close to just going full force into a tree and just knocking myself out.
Oh my god.
To where finally I think I either trip on a root or whatever else. I catch my senses. I don't hear the bear. I yak. I find the tent. I get in my sleeping bag. I go back to bed.
Oh my gosh.
And I only ran for maybe 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, but I felt like eternity.
It felt like eternity. So I can't imagine Elijah booking it for miles.
Yeah.
I mean, going, collapses.
Oh, my God.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
That's my goal. I want to capture the emotional weight of biblical characters through the music. Just capture it. The last song that I did, Doubting Peter.
Yep.
Because the most iconic scene with him is, Peter on the water.
That's right.
And it's such a pivotal moment, I think, for him that I'm like, you can probably capture that. I think everyone has that moment in life where I think God is calling you out to step into the water and you're just not sure.
What's wild is that was one of Peter's first experiences stepping into something where reality didn't make sense anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one thing to walk with God, someone who's claiming God. There's one thing to walk on water, to where like this has shattered
Reality.
my reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's shattered, and you can't go back.
No.
You can't go back at that point. So you look at that, and it's at some point he loses sight of Jesus and gets scared, and falls in.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and so it's just that's a weird place to be.
Yeah. Well, so like, I know we're talking a lot about the music.
Yeah.
But again, you listen to that song, and in the bridge, at the very end, in that vocal fry, screaming sound, why did you doubt?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what would, we know that Jesus rebukes, his disciples for certain things. Like we're talking about the sons of thunder, And I would think, like, what would it be like if Jesus was talking to you in that moment? The emotional part of, why did you doubt? Mm-hmm. Like, you've seen what I've been doing.
That's right.
And you still doubted me. So when I was writing, I was like, I want to capture what would it sound like to hear that voice, towards you. I'm calling you out to step into the unknown. Now you stepped out and you're shaky, and I'm going to now rebuke, like, why did you doubt? And it did a really good job of capturing that. I might redo that song, but I think a lot of times I started thinking about that song, like different moments in my life where I feel like God is calling me out to step into something that I was very uncertain about. Like I want to step into something that has a lot of predictability to it. Mm-hmm. Which is really not stepping out.
Within my frame of reality.
Yeah, like I need something that I can kind of semi-concrete. So to call me, but there were moments in life where God said, no, like you're just going to do X. And that's it. A good example is coming to William Carey. I literally moved to Carey with like no money. It was just like, you're leaving home. You're 19? You're leaving your house. You're going to William Carey. And I'm like, huh? I have no money. I just got a vehicle. I can barely afford the gas. Yeah. Like, okay, well, you're going. And I was like, okay. Little moments like that, where God calls you out to step out and really experience his provision. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It's crazy.
100% crazy.
Which leads us into the main topic for today.
The main topic, which
Solomon, who had experienced God's provision in every area possible.
Every earthly aspect.
Yeah.
That you could possibly imagine.
Oh, yeah.
This man pursued, and he achieved it.
So that was one of the reasons why I picked Solomon, is because in many ways I'm like, I feel God's provision in my life, right? But there's still some things that I was just kind of thinking about, like, let me find a character that also experienced the success, the status, the material stuff, the pleasure stuff. Like, just let me, who can I relate to that? And it's Solomon for sure, But I think what stood out for me is the fact that even after, like, go back to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 1, where he's talking about wisdom.
Yep.
But then he moves it into an area where I'm like, this is where I'm sure my head is at. And now he moves it to testing all the hedonism, materialism, just I can afford it all. I want to experience it all mentality, right? In his conclusion to it, I was like, ugh. It's all vanity.
It's painful.
Oh man.
So we're in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. What would you say? Verses 1 through 11.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is where your heroes go to die.
Explain that.
All right. So like.
Interesting.
Yeah. So because he's going to talk through so many avenues that man pursues to find meaning. And it's like watching all of your heroes die. It's like, oh my gosh, someone killed Superman. And even on a childlike level, this is where you reach an age and you realize your dad is not a hero. When you see your dad in his flaws, as in his weaknesses, and you're like, oh crud, my dad was everything to me. And now I see him for who he is. I don't love him any less, but the facade, the gold plating is now gone.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about it like that. I mean, I do see this is where your heroes go to die, because typically, for men or women, you kind of turn to either one of these things that he explains to find fulfillment. And in the process of finding that fulfillment, sometimes you turn to destructive behaviors. He's talking about turning to the pleasures, right, of wine, laughter, sex.
Yep.
You take any of those to the extreme and you can wreck your family.
Oh, yeah.
And here's this guy who's like, I own it all. I have it all. I can decree anything, just about anything, and it will be.
Mm-hmm.
And I experimented with all of these things, and I'm still empty. That to me was, he captures it. That is very depressive. He really got down from that. Like, oh my gosh, like I can build any monument and it doesn't matter because someone's going to come by and take over it and do whatever they want with it.
That's right.
I can, have all the titles of a king, which a lot of people pursue. They're pursuing for status in some way or shape or form.
Mm-hmm.
You get it. And then the next day, it doesn't matter. Then you pursue, he describes, wine and laughter, and just let's do that every day continually.
Silver and gold.
Yeah.
He
Get the money.
Wisdom.
Yeah. And then the crazy one is the pursuing the pleasures. He has all the concubines. Pursued it all. And he, I'll just say it. For a lot of men, you'd be like, huh? What do you mean?
Like
you got it all.
You did it.
You did it. And he's like, yeah, I'm still empty. I was like, oh my God.
He achieves a God level status on earth of fame, power, achievement, access.
Yeah.
And then in the end, empty. What was the Hebrew word? You put it in the notes. You said it describes like you can't hold on. It's like vapor. I had grasped something. I thought it was solid, and come to find out it was nothing but vapor.
I think it was just vanity.
Vanity. It's the Hebrew word for vanity.
Yeah. I got to go back and find it. That to me is very shocking. I don't want to say it's shocking, but I think it's, when I start reflecting on that, I started thinking about like my own decision making, right? Like, what are the things that I'm pursuing in order to fill a God-sized hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I mean, from the material, like a good example was like those consoles that I bought, right? So they're all nice. And here I am thinking like, well, if only I can get like that one, that one, that one, and that one. Like I got like 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
I'm good. The last one arrives And I'm like, I should be very content that I have all these, but I still feel the
And
same
yet,
way. Like it didn't change anything,
mhm.
you know? And the crazy part is I only have two hands. I can only play one of them. So it's like, why did I get six of these things?
Who has any idea
I,
why we latch on to things like that and expect
yeah.
a level of satisfaction to come from owning something or having access to something
Yeah.
where it's like, what itch did this thing scratch? Because now that I have it, I don't have the itch anymore.
Well, you think about culture. I mean, pretty much the way things are marketed towards people is if only you get, you know, the ring or the vehicle or the house, then you're I don't know, you're complete almost.
Which means if you don't have it, you're what?
You're lacking something. You're
broken.
empty. You're broken.
You're broken.
Yeah, you're everything that's wrong. The reason you feel the way you do is because you don't have X, Y, and Z.
Isn't that go back to Eve in the Garden of Eden?
Explain.
They're made in the image of God, and then Satan goes, if you eat that, you'll be like him. And they already were.
You already were.
You already were. So you're already complete. And then Satan comes and persuades her that without this, you are not. And if you just reach out your hand and take a bite, you will finally be complete.
Mm.
And she's like, yeah. And then so like it goes from this emotional persuasion of you're not complete, and then she starts going into the logical. What does look nice? And it would be good for food and attaining wisdom, right? I do that with purchases.
Oh my
I will
gosh.
emotionally buy something, and then but when I have to explain it to someone, aka my spouse, I will logically explain all the reasons why this was a good
I
purchase.
did the same thing. Oh. She would ask me, so she was like, so I don't really understand like what you're doing too. But she asked the question, she was like, but can't all of these play the same thing? And I'm
That's
like,
right.
yeah, but it's the form factor.
That's right.
And you know, this one has like this capability and that one does. You're like, yeah, but don't they all play the same thing? Yeah. So what are you doing? I don't know. I just need it. I literally
need
said
it.
that.
I
I was like,
need
I just
it.
need it. It's part of my collection. And dude, it's vanity. I'll use the word. It's vanity. It's
100%.
meaningless. It's absolutely meaningless. I could have done something else with all of that. So I think the material part for sure with our age and time, we just live in a time where we're just marketed well.
Mm-hmm.
We really are. I mean, nowhere in any point in history do you turn left or right and there's some type of ad that says you need X, Y, or Z.
That's right.
So we're constantly in this cycle of being told continue to purchase, continue to acquire, keep acquiring, and you're never really quite satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
And it just becomes, I think if you're not careful, it becomes destructive. You know, it escalates. You know, it goes from purchasing one thing to now I'm in debt because I keep buying things.
That's right.
You never control it, you know. I think for me though, the part that gets me with Solomon is the part where he talks about the other pleasures. I was like, you're talking to me on that one. Because for men, culturally, you're taught sex is almost like the ultimate
pinnacle of masculinity.
Yeah. You're defined by it.
That's
almost.
right.
You know, like you're not only are you defined, you're defining the pursuit of it. Once you get it, then it should be I would say filling up all the holes in your spirit per se.
Well, think about it this way. Money cannot submit to me.
Explain that one.
All right. So money, fame, entertainment, They cannot submit to me.
Mm-hmm.
They can't open themselves up to me. They can't even want me. But a female, an intimate moment with a female, I check way more boxes with a female than I can with any other
I
aspect.
see that.
I can be wanted.
Yeah.
I can have a female and she opens herself up to me.
Mm-hmm.
She fully exposes herself to me and is not ashamed, and I get to do the same.
Correct.
I get to feel
Yeah.
powerful, productive, wanted, loved, needed,
Yeah.
right? It's wild.
Yeah.
Intimacy is crazy.
Yeah.
And when it checks more boxes in your life, they'll say like, oh, God, only thing guys think about is sex. And you're like, show me a guy who can't stop thinking about sex, and I'll show you a guy that checks all of his boxes.
That's right there. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
When he's bored, what fixes boredom? That. When I
That.
feel lonely, sex. When I feel not enough, like sex, right?
Yeah.
And I want to feel loved, go to sex.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. And I would say in men's circle, that's generally it's an echo chamber of that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not actively getting that or in the pursuit of that, it's almost like something about your masculinity is not quite defined, which is completely inaccurate.
Uh-huh.
So this is the craziest part to me, right? This is King Solomon. You know who his father is.
100%.
He knows what his father went through in the pursuit of the same thing he's going after. And even with that knowledge, he still went after it.
That's right.
Well, what your father, and for those who are, if you don't know, it's King David,
Yeah. The warrior poet king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he did some crazy stuff.
100%.
And still known as a man after God's own heart, But you think about King David, standing on the balcony, watching Bathsheba, knowing she's married,
That's right.
decided, I want her. Let me send her husband Uriah to the front. Tell my generals, when the fight gets started, pull back so he can get killed. So I can then, and this is the part he doesn't disclose, intentions. I want that. I already have here's King David.
Well, she got pregnant.
She gets pregnant.
That was
That's
the
right.
catalyst, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
even the fact that you had an affair with a woman that was already taken by someone, a well-respected man in your military,
Yeah.
fighting battles for you, right?
Yeah.
And what's interesting, and I'm just making the connection now, King David became King Saul in that moment.
I did not think about that.
He took that same spirit upon him and found himself commanding his people to do heinous things to an innocent man to cover up his own mistakes. Because I think if Bathsheba had not gotten pregnant, would have been a different story. But she gets pregnant, and so he calls him back from war and says, "Hey, why don't you go spend time with your wife before you go back?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "If my men can't sleep with their women, I will not sleep with mine." And you're just like, oh my gosh, Uriah, you are a man among men.
Yeah.
You are so righteous and so loyal. And it's driving David nuts because he's like, okay, I tried to cover up the pregnancy by convincing you that you were the source of that seed. And since that didn't work, my only other option is you die.
You die.
You die.
Destructive behavior.
Just there, destructive behavior at someone else's expense.
Yeah. And I would say that's probably men's number one challenge.
At the highest levels of success, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you look recent news.
This is affecting kings. And sometimes I think we get lost into, like, if you're in a low rung of society, it affects you more somehow. But, no, it's all the way up the chain.
When you said that, it reminded me of that quote about couples where it's like, it says, I think, females are tested when their men have nothing,
That's right.
and men are tested when they have everything.
Everything.
And time after time,
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, it's the men that achieve the material and the status and the character flaw.
That's right.
For this particular area of hedonism, they fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
You got that coach from Michigan. I just thought about that. He's the one. I don't know. I'm not into college football or anything like that, but I think it's a coach from Michigan where he was married.
Okay.
He had. I saw a little bit of the biography where he was married.
Was this the one
with the assistant?
Yes.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he almost
So-
tried killing her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or something like that, or stalking her. But
Yeah.
again, when I went back to read about him, this is a guy who was married and worked his tail off to get where he was, including taking on positions along the way that you would think were bad career moves. But in essence, he was planning, like, no, I need to, like, in order for me to get where I need to be, I may have to take like 2 steps back.
That's right.
Mentality.
That's right.
But focus, right?
Probably an unreal level of sacrifice.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And
So is this guy stupid or is he smart?
both.
Right?
He's both. I
Look
mean,
at his
it
career
was-
path and his decisions and
Yeah.
tenacity. Like, dude, that's an intelligent dude.
Yeah, this is a guy that, from the perspective of work, understood the necessary steps. But when it came to filling the God-sized hole inside of him,
That's right.
that flaw was far too big. It was big enough that I would say he understood the consequences and still decided to move forward with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are staring at a barrel at that point and saying, the pleasure far exceeds anything I've achieved. I want it. And makes the decision to move forward with it.
That's right.
And it wrecks his career. It wrecks his family.
Hers.
It
other
wrecks
woman?
hers.
Yeah.
It totally destroyed him. I mean, $1 million contract with the multi-million-dollar
Well,
contract as a coach.
Think about this.
And
So,
still.
smart dude, intelligent, and yet in this area, dumb as rocks.
Yeah.
Solomon, he's not an idiot. He has divine level wisdom
Yep.
that cannot be found on earth.
Yep.
And he still
Yep.
steps into this. And I'm thinking, sometimes I think, man, if I just knew more about the Bible,
Then I would be able to battle this.
I would be good.
Yeah. I keep thinking if I knew more about scripture, then I would be able to like fend off from
That's
all
right.
of this stuff. And that is true. And at the same time, the voice from the flesh can sometimes be so loud that it's louder than reason. It's very deceptive. For sure. The lies are very deceptive. The lies that you hear about, if you were to go out there, I would say it in 2 ways. If you elevate sex within your marriage to the point that it defines the marriage, then I would say you're moving towards a destructive path. I would say that.
Okay.
And then if you're thinking of doing it outside of marriage, same thing. Because in both situations, you've elevated a momentary pleasure to a God level status.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's for men, we're wired to connect that way. It's in our design. It's nothing wrong with it. We're designed to feel connected with our spouses in that regard. It's what happens when the moment has to be a God moment every time.
That's right.
At that point, you're just walking into a trap.
You're basically on a walking affair waiting to happen. Right? Like, for me in my life, as terrible as it sounds, like that was me.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Same.
believing I was lovable, likable, or
same.
needed. I was basically a walking affair waiting to happen. And it wasn't anything my wife did.
Yeah.
It had everything to do if it was all it would take was one woman to show me love and affection,
Mm-hmm.
and then I mean,
The decision making,
like the
goes
unwise
out the
son
window.
spoken about in Proverbs of like toward the woman,
Yeah.
right? I'd have been devoured, bro. I'd have destroyed everything.
Yeah. Same. I think God step into so many moments like that. I would say where it's like divine intervention of just wisdom. I would say that it's like, this is not who you are, you know. And I think that's what it takes. I mean, you have to. I've always said this when I talk to other guys about it. It's like, you know, when it's moments like that, you have to decide what type of man are you going to be. You have to ask yourself that question.
I mean, take it a step before that, right? Scripturally, what type of man were you made to be?
Everything that God is, you're designed to be after that.
And be good at it.
And be great at it.
That's
yeah.
I mean, like you ask God,
Yeah.
am I a good husband? He'll say, yeah,
Yeah.
you're a great husband. Now ask me how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, because we keep looking at how we act toward our wives at times, and we think, oh, that's who I am. That's who I really am.
Mm-hmm.
And God goes, ain't none of that who you are. Right? When did your past get permission to tell you who you are? Never.
Never.
I never gave it permission. That's my job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get to tell you who you are.
Yeah.
But if you believe the opposite, you will naturally live differently. If I think I'm a bad husband, I will live as one.
Mm-hmm. Correct. You are.
Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you said that, because this is a conversation I was having with Brittany the other day, probably yesterday, I think, where, you know, in marriage, it's a reflection of the relationship that Christ has with the church, his bride.
That's right.
You know. And I mean, we were talking till like 1 o'clock in the morning. Like we were just talking.
I was one of those.
Yeah,
talks.
we were just talking. We were just like, let's talk. So we were just talking, and I said, "You realize?" I said, "There's a lot of couples out there that say that they want this type of marriage similar to how Christ had it with the church." But I said, "But do you realize that if you were to compare that to a modern day husband and wife?" It's similar to a wife rejecting her husband repeatedly, and the husband still chooses to die for her. And we were talking about just, you know, family history and things like that of divorce, and it's like how many divorces happen over like a dead bedroom situation, right? From either spouse, the husband to the wife or the wife to the husband, right? And yet, put that as a reflection of Christ and the church as the bride. The bride is repeatedly denying the husband. And the husband still says, and I love you, and I will wash you, and I will serve you, and I will die for you. You know, and you know, we were just talking about, and she was like, "Oh my God, I've never seen it." I was like, "Yeah, like if that is our definition of marriage and you know, of that relationship, it goes that far." Christ was isolated from his bride, and still came and died for her.
That's right.
You know, so but culturally, when I'm talking to guys about it, it's like, well, if the sex is not there, then it's just, you know, a disaster, you know, or even the stuff that I've read online from the way the women experience it from the opposite side. Well, the marriage is over. And it's kind of like, you're either going to see marriage as a commitment or marriage as a prison. If it's a commitment, right, you know, and I was telling her this, I was like, you know, so it's like people need to understand if it's a commitment, you can decide to continue moving forward. But if your view of marriage is a prison, you're trying to get out.
That's right.
You know,
I need
people
to
go to
stay-
prison. People who are in prison want to leave prison. But people that are making decisions to do something can continually make that decision to, continue pursuing that,
That's right.
improving that, all of those things. So I think you have this, again, two crazy worldviews where Solomon is saying all of these pleasures are momentary pleasures of grace, gifts from God, but they're just moments for you to say thank you. The world says those moments define you.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the crazy fight that we're in.
Yeah.
You know, it's that. I think it's massive confusion, especially with culture and how it portrays it to men. I see it all the time.
I find myself sitting there with more men whose marriages are wrecked.
Yeah.
And just, dude, it absolutely just breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely breaks my heart. And it's just the... Like, if you want to call the feminist movement blue pill,
okay,
and then red pill is just the counter to that.
Yeah,
right.
The stuff that's coming.
It is both of those things just colliding and crushing each other.
Oh, absolutely.
In marriages, and you're like, it doesn't work.
You realize that it's a power struggle of who dominates who.
It's who gets to be the center of the world.
Yeah.
Right. Feminist movement. Women are the center of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Men. Kick
red
rocks.
Pill, you're the man. Yeah.
And then the men come in like, no, we are the alphas, and you submit to us, right?
Yep.
And then both sides, from some degree, try using scripture to justify their positional views. Not all of them, but there's
some lingering, for sure. There is a lingering of, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
Especially with men that are into red pill, they're turning to scripture to try to justify the behaviors. But
you got to, man. Otherwise, you can't stay in it.
Yeah.
Gotta find scripture that supports this. Otherwise, what am I standing on?
Correct. I think for the men that are dealing with that, man, I'm telling you, you have to truly reflect on the commitment versus prison mentality. And the second part, and this is the part that I'm like, this is something I've had to learn. Communicate that thought to your spouse. And I would honestly say, from women to men too that are in the same kind of situation, you need to communicate that. And I think if you're both committed to it, you got to be receptive of what the other person is saying. You got to take it into heart and really reflect on it. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't.
How good were you and Brittany at communicating with each other?
Oh my gosh,
we're
still learning.
It's the same on our end. So
still learning.
It's interesting. In marriage, it's like learning to talk to someone who is on a completely different radio frequency.
Oh my gosh.
Right, I'm over on
well
AM.
Said.
I'm on AM. Ain't no one on AM.
No.
It's like 3 channels.
Yeah.
My wife's on FM, and there's 50 channels.
Yeah.
And we are talking like we cannot pick up what the other person's trying to give out. You know, this is early on in our marriage. And so we would communicate, but we would communicate in such a way that we could not understand what the other person was trying to get across.
Yeah.
My spouse did not grow up in a family where you communicated a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So for her to actually communicate, even like her feelings, which you think for a female would be like way easier.
You would think, yeah.
For her, it was not.
Yeah.
Not in that arena. So for me, I can't shut up. So I would just verbally judo chop her argument. Like I wouldn't even give her a second to think about it. Yeah. And, this puts me in a bad light, but it's true. It was manipulative.
Yeah.
But no one won, everyone lost, basically.
Yep.
And there's one of the most important things you can learn in a marriage and any relationship is how to communicate to that other person
Correct.
that they can actually pick up on
Correct.
what you're trying to get across.
Correct.
Right? It's because even early on in our relationship, I said, I love you to my spouse. Behind that was, I need you to love me, so I believe I'm lovable.
You know, we were talking, when we were talking about this yesterday, we're like, you know, couples should really get like when we did our marriage counseling, when we first got married, I mean, it was like a few hours.
Yeah.
You know,
Nothing.
Very generalized discussion. But the discussions that we have now, over a decade together, we're like, why didn't we have this discussion back then? Because you're right. It's AM and FM, and now you both live together, and you have to harmonize that frequency.
That's right.
You know, some way, somehow, the frequency has to come together to come be one voice. And it's difficult, dude. I think, I don't know. So many people go into, I would say, like, if you take sort of what King Solomon is talking about, right? Where he's basically talking about the human experience of what we do.
Yep.
People will seek all types of pleasures, and he basically categorizes them as it'll be sexual pleasure, status, material,
Yep.
money, and one of them, if you could honestly throw it in there, an obsession of legacy, building monuments, or you could probably say status, you know. And if you're jumping, so if we have that understanding of the human experience, right, and now you're choosing to build a life with someone else, you better know what that person is after. Because, I mean, you just need to be prepared, you know. It's the things that I know now by myself versus when we got married, miles. But I would say, like we're the opposite. I'm the one that doesn't have like the emotional language. Brittany has an encyclopedia of emotional language, just to, how to communicate. So when she would talk to me, I'd be like, you know, what are you feeling? I was like, I don't know. Angry, you know,
yeah, it
sad,
could be bare bones. Yeah,
you know, frustrated. Like, I don't really know what to say, you know. So you're right. She could talk circles around me when it comes to emotions, and I'm over there like, I don't know. Just, I don't know. I'm angry. That's it. You know, like, I don't know what to like explain, you know. I don't know what else to say, you know.
Yeah.
I've had to learn how to express the emotional side.
That's right.
You know, and it's partly culture. I mean, you know, we just didn't talk about emotions like that, you know, but you get married to someone else that is very emotionally intelligent, but you better step up. You gotta know how to communicate.
Look, it's like understanding, like, I feel angry, and then answering the question, why?
Why?
Well, and then you got nothing. Because I'm just used to feeling a certain way, and then that's pushing me to go do something.
Yeah.
Like, but never really digging deeper underneath that to like why you're angry. I'm angry because you make me feel disrespected, and because you disrespect me, I feel weak and unwanted, and that makes me angry. That's it.
That's
it. If you can just step a layer deeper.
Yeah.
Into that, you can start doing that on everything you're also pursuing.
So let me ask you this. All right. So the guys that you've spoken to, is it a lack of emotional intelligence that kind of keeps them from communicating what's really under the surface to their spouse? Because I think, you know, I'll be honest, a lot of the guys I know are avoidant of sharing emotions. And I would say, for the most part, guys we're just brought up that way.
Well, it's a lose-lose.
Correct.
Right? If I share actually how I feel and why I feel it,
then you're weak in front of your wife.
I'm weak.
Yeah, you're weak. And you're especially not masculine in front of your spouse.
Yeah, that's a lose-lose.
I mean, you're taught that way. You don't share your emotions with women, otherwise they will see you as a weak, unstable man.
Well, we tell guys, don't be a burden. And if I share how I'm feeling, I feel like I am unloading a burden on you.
Mm.
And I've been told and raised my entire life, you don't do that. And so why even go deeper intellectually to do a self-evaluation to bring up something I can't even share?
Correct.
If I share this, it just gets worse.
Correct.
So absolutely not.
Mm. So it's just a learned behavior to just not share what's really under the surface.
Correct. And that becomes the valued virtue. Don't share. Don't talk about it. Don't even show it.
Wow.
Don't give them the reason to ask questions.
Wow.
How are you doing? I'm fine.
Stonewall.
Yeah.
Just stonewall.
I'm
One
fine.
of the 4 horsemen that dictate whether you're heading towards divorce is stonewalling. From either spouse.
That's right.
You not talking and just saying I'm okay, which is something I've learned.
Yeah.
You know, that is one of the vectors towards you are walking into the path of divorce at that point.
Yeah, what is it? If there's more negative interactions than positive, it's like the number one indicator of like if you're heading for a divorce or not.
Yeah.
Whether big or small.
Big or small. Oh,
Big or
wow.
small. And it's like, man, I honestly wish we had some communication coaching early on in our marriage where someone would just sit there and evaluate a discussion that we had and then just record it and be like, what the heck was that?
Dude, that would be incredible.
Yeah,
if I
dude,
could
it would be
record
so uncomfortable and have to rewatch it and be like, why did you say it that
It's
way?
like a coaching film from football. Like,
Yeah.
let's go back and watch this again.
Why did your face do that when you heard this from her?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you lean away from him when he started talking about how he felt about this?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Why did you ask him a question and
Yeah.
then you turn around and made that about you?
Mm.
Like something that would just come in and absolutely wreck your communication world to realize just how bad you are at it
Yeah.
from just the way you grew up.
Yeah.
Like take a kid who has no siblings and a kid who grew up with a ton of siblings and then marry those two people together.
Oh, Lord.
You-
It's wild.
Oh my gosh.
That's a wild combination. I mean, it can work, but that's building a new way of communicating for both,
Yeah.
both of them.
I might have had 100% attention of both my parents
Yeah.
and had to share it with nobody.
Yeah.
That's going to make me think a certain way about myself than maybe my spouse that grew up with five siblings. And you had to compete for attention if you wanted it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Something
even,
so small,
even
but
something
so,
like that, where this
golly.
person who grew up with a ton of siblings probably doesn't speak a whole bunch, because if you had to say something, you better make it matter. It better matter. And this person just always spoke because everything they said felt like it mattered.
Correct.
You put those two people together in discussion, they will absolutely jump to some conclusions about each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I would honestly say another one, and this is probably the most common ones I see, is not only that, but add a man and a woman that are both bringing in trauma
Baggage.
into the marriage.
That's right.
Dude, that is a mountain to climb. From number one, at a personal level for either one, but then as a couple, because that plays out into so many parts of that marriage. The breakdown of communication, or how one person wants to be loved versus the other one.
That's right.
I mean,
I think it's perfectly fine to bring baggage into a relationship. I don't think there's a way to go around it.
Yeah.
But even in premarital counseling, I think every single one of those bags needs to be opened.
100%.
You better open it.
100%.
I'm not expecting 6 months of counseling to fix everything you've dealt with over the past 2+ decades.
Right.
But you've got to be in a place where you're going to open that. Otherwise, y'all are going to put it in a closet somewhere, And 5 years down the road, stress is going to come out, and you're going to grab that suitcase and you're going to open it.
Yeah.
And it's going to go over like a turd in a punch bowl, bro.
Oh, yeah. I'll share this. You know, me and Brittany have been married, what? We're going on 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
First year getting married.
Magical year, right, Albert?
I mean, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, it was a tough year, dude. I was like, that first year, we struggled to the point that I think when we got into counseling together, that opened up doors to my past that I'm like, well, all these things happen, but you just like move on, put them in a box and on a shelf, and like life goes on. And it's like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that all those experiences now affect my marriage? Yeah, they do. I was like, no, like I've moved on. They're like, no, you haven't. There are certain things you say, think, or do that trace back to the little box you put up. And until you deal with it, it's going to continue hurting your marriage. And dude, I think just generally speaking, when I talk to guys and we're kind of just sharing, of our past, there's typically something that they went through that for obvious reasons they've moved on because life moves on.
That's right.
But I would say the persona, the kid or the teenager or whoever, is still somewhere in there hurting. They just choose to drown that voice, but it's still screaming for help in different ways, shapes, or form. They're just not. And for the most part, it's a choice to not address it. I will say that. It's just, we're just not going to talk about it. Or they have the mentality that it's pointless to talk about it.
Because that's how you were raised.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll be worse if you say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So don't say anything.
Well, I mean, I would say the biggest thing, this is what I think it's the biggest thing. They were, for the most part, men are not taught to be vulnerable in front of other people. So the real fear is I will be exposed.
And you'll use it against me.
That.
I don't need to hand you another weapon.
I will say I will be exposed, and, add to what you're saying, you'll use it against me like that. You're right. Yeah. You'll hurt me. The fact that I can open this up leaves me for a knife to enter into the picture.
Like, what else do you think the relationship between a mother and a son's for?
Building that capacity.
Right. The mom typically is going to have a higher level of emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they exercise and practice that constantly.
Correct.
Amongst themselves.
Correct.
And so the mother gets to teach the son how to communicate to another woman.
Man, I've never quite seen it like that, but yeah.
Correct.
Very true. I mean, you do get to see from your mother how to show your emotions.
Correct.
Yeah.
So like he gets to see firsthand mom and dad practicing. And then he gets to go and practice with mom.
Yeah.
And that mirroring helps them develop, this is how you talk to women.
Can I take it a step further?
Oh, please do.
I would almost challenge you to say that is the father's job to show a son how to communicate.
Oh, no, it 100% starts there.
And going back to how Christ communicates with the church, we're designed to be the man of the household. And going back to the podcast that we had, when God shows up to the garden, where's Adam? So not only have I modeled it through the Old Testament and New Testament, how I love the bride.
That's right.
I expect you to do the same thing. Now teach your son to do the same thing
Correct.
too. I thought about that with George the other day. So very, I would say, small little squabble. But to him, he's 4. It was a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Him and his siblings. So I'm in the bathtub and I'm bathing Eleanor. He comes in and he jumps in and he's just sitting there all solemn. And in my head, I'm like, "Man, God stuff. Just get over it. Like you'll be all right." But in my head, I'm like, this is, for some reason, it occurred to me, I'm like, the next things I'm going to say to my son are going to define him. And I asked him, I said, "George, what's going on?" And he says, "Nothing." Typical of a guy. "Nothing." Okay. I wait like 5-10 seconds and I'm like, "No, buddy, like really, like what's going on?" And he was like, "No, nothing." I was like, he's my kid. Like he's me, he's me, So again, I give him room and I wait about 30 seconds and I'm like, "Buddy, like really, what's going on?" And he was like, "My sister wouldn't let me talk in the car," like
It was there.
it was there.
Under the surface the whole time.
And in my head, I'm thinking, this is where I'm thinking what I told you. The next words are going to define them. Because in my head, I'm thinking, I can say, "Oh, man, just get over it. You'll be all right.
Suck it up.
Suck it up. It's going to be all right, And instead I said, "Well, how does that make you feel, bud?" Big seismic shift in my approach with him. Like, how does that make you feel, bud? I don't remember people ever asking me growing up, how does that make you feel? Literally, I have no recollection of anyone ever asking me, how does X, Y, and Z make you feel? So I'm thinking with him is, how does that make you feel, buddy? And he was like, sad. I was like, all right. I said, so what can we do? I started asking, well, how do you think we should do next time, with that? He was like, I should tell him like that makes me sad and I need a turn to talk to, and I was like, good. So next time you're in the vehicle, you tell him, "Hey, y'all had a turn. It's my turn to talk." And he was like, okay. Again, like
Little squabble.
little squabble. But kind of going back to the boy, like if I as a father would have told him like, suck it up, drown the emotions, that is going to play out in every moment of his life when he has a spouse.
That's right.
"Baby, how are you feeling?" "I'm good." Where would he have learned stonewalling? From his dad. The mom teaches him so much about emotions, but the dad, I think, teaches him to be vulnerable with it. Like, it is okay to be vulnerable.
Well, he's got to see you do it.
Yeah,
It's like
he does.
like how much does George model after you?
Yeah.
Just trying to mimic what you do.
Yeah.
So he's gonna model after how does dad talk to mom, right? And then he goes and practices with mom. With mom.
Yep.
And he will screw that up.
Yeah.
More
Obviously.
often
Yep.
than not.
Yep.
Early on, as he's learning how to do that, like there is something inside of me that if any one of my kids, girl or boys, talk rude to my spouse, I about lose my mind.
Same thing.
I about lose my mind.
Oh my gosh.
And for whatever reason, they will not talk that way to me, but they have leeway with their mom.
Oh yeah.
And I will wreck your world.
Right? 100%.
100%. Now, if anyone listening, if you're thinking if we should call Child Protective Services, I'm not bringing down. We're not going in guns a-blazing, but we are creating a serious moment where, like, if y'all want to go down this route.
Absolutely.
Like, find out.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Just find out.
I'm the same way. I'll hear the kids talk crazy, and, I mean, I might as well be seeing blood. I don't know. It's just... I'm sorry. I don't talk to your mom that way. You sure as heck are going to do the same thing. So apologize, and now you owe me. Like it won't be a whooping or anything, but we're talking about like I need you to start picking up some rags and we're going to be cleaning something. Like, you're going to understand
Let's go.
there are consequences to your speech,
That's right.
you know, and you never disrespect your
It
mama.
was like, hey, you got free speech, just not free consequences.
There you go.
You know,
that's
and
it. Right.
That's
right.
what
right.
That's how it goes down in our house.
Yep.
And so,
I'm the same way. Yep.
You know, and I try to explain to him, I was like, if you disrespect your mom, you've disrespected me. Not that raises and elevates me, but just understand that this is what marriage is. Right? If you're going to disrespect her, then I'm going to come to her rescue.
Yep.
Every single time.
Every time.
Girls, find a man that will come to your rescue.
Thing. Yep.
Son, become the man that rescues.
Yep. That's
you understand?
exactly
So it's like I can't just come and like berate you.
Right.
I want you to take away something from this. Of like, there's a reason we don't do this. Is because if I'm a woman, I'm seeking out a man that will do this.
Correct.
If I'm a man, I am seeking to become the man that does this.
Correct. You have to. You have to. I think especially the boys. That's, dude. I mean, you talk about generations of broken families due to the lack of a man in the home. I mean, the modeling boys on how to be men, I mean, it's just lacking dramatically in our culture. I mean, it just is, so especially for us and our kids, and our sons, like teaching them how to be rescuers, teaching them that it's okay to be vulnerable and strong at the same time.
That's right.
Because that's the duality that I try to model with George is like, dude, you are like a warrior. I always tell him that from day one. I think he was probably a baby in the hospital, and I whispered in his ear, I said, boy, you're a warrior. Like, I've always told George that,
Yeah.
And I approach him with that mentality, like, this is a little warrior I'm building right here, But the new thing that is as he's growing up, it's seeing myself in him, and really shaping the emotional capabilities of him. I do that with the girls from time to time, but him especially, knowing and seeing it already, he's got the little traits of stonewalling. I'm like, I need to teach him how to be okay with saying, this is what I'm feeling.
And here's why.
Yeah. Just because, like when me and Brittany talk, it's like, I see the adult I want my daughters to be and how George to be. So I'm raising them with that mentality. She's seeing the more holistic day-to-day side of them, of the nurturing, making sure they're safe and well and loved and all of those things that are massively important. And my whole goal is I need to prepare you for a world, where you can just stand out and succeed. One of the key things is definitely in relationships. I want you to walk into those relationships knowing how to communicate with confidence of who you are. That's the thing. And kind of, I mean, dude, I kind of go back to Solomon though. It's regardless of what he saw his parents do, still, I hate it. Still, he, the child chose to pursue the same things.
It does make you wonder, was it because he had divine wisdom? Of like they couldn't because they didn't have.
Probably. I mean,
but
he did,
all this comes so easily to me. I would do this the right way, a better way.
I mean, we know he's testing it. In chapter 2, he's saying, I'm going to test the pleasures.
He tells himself.
I
said to myself.
Now, men, like, don't tell your spouse, I'm going to go out there and test the pleasures. Don't do that. He's different. That's not an excuse.
Well, how much trouble did we get in by counseling ourselves?
Oh, gosh.
I go through something and I go, that was terrible.
You are your own worst patient.
It's terrible. And then I ask myself, why was that terrible? It's terrible because you're an idiot. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I counsel myself.
Mm-hmm. 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 I think that's I can honestly say that's probably the situation that he's in.
Right there.
It's, you know, I have all this wisdom, all this understanding that I've been blessed with. I think I'm going to do X, Y, and Z.
That's right.
Rather than turn to a prophet, or someone,
because he doesn't ask God. He doesn't ask God.
He doesn't.
I will rely on my own counsel.
Just to arrive at a place where he's like, I'm depressed now.
I am sad.
I'm sad. So now think about it. He came to a point where he realized there is nothing on this earth that I can do that will give me fulfillment. There's not a lot of people that can say that.
I just can't believe God was like, I'm going to let it happen.
Yeah.
To a man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to record it. And then I'm going to have that man journal what it was like.
Oh.
So that all of mankind can read this story and realize that the stuff they are pursuing to find themselves is going to devastate you.
And it's going to come from someone who is achieving everything you're pursuing.
Better.
Oh my gosh.
He did it better.
Yeah.
He had heavenly wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And God's backing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What obstacle did he have? None.
None.
None. Finances? None.
There's
fame? None.
So, I mean, you kind of turn it back to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's nothing you can buy that will bring fulfillment to you. There's no alcohol you can drink that's going to
numb it.
Yeah. There's no affair out there that is going to complete you.
Mm-hmm.
So what is there? There's only one thing that he says. You got to turn to God.
It's God.
It's God. There's a relationship. There's a relationship there. That is the only thing that can help you. The second thing, I think this is probably the most important thing out of the whole chapter 2. It was a shift in perspective. Solomon understood that and it's hard for us to absorb this, but I think this is the main thing he's communicating. Pleasures are a momentary blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Moments, drops. Think of it like rain. You get a little bit of rain today, you may not get some for a while. They're momentary pleasures. You have to understand it from that perspective. Is buying a console a sin? No. Enjoying it for what it is for those few moments is great. Good point. The little Game Boy thing that I brought today. I'm glad that I get to own one and play one with the understanding that it won't complete any part of me. Same thing with relationships. I'm glad I get to do the podcast, but it doesn't mean that continually doing the podcast is going to fill a hole inside of me.
That's right.
Right? There are moments of pleasure. Same thing with my spouse. Spending time with her brings me momentary pleasures, but defining our marriage by that isn't going to complete me.
No.
You got to get to a point where you have an understanding that all the blessings that you get to experience are for moments of grace that God is saying, here's some relief and joy, like momentary joys for you to just enjoy. the same way we bless our kids with stuff. I want you to have fun. So let's go to the zoo. I want you to have fun. Let's go to Disney. We're not going to Disney every day.
That's right.
We get to go to Disney because we're blessed. So see, you have, that's the main thing that Solomon understood. At the end of experiencing everything, I mean, he doesn't say that they're all worthless. It's pinning my identity in them only results in it being meaningless.
Yeah, it's pursuing an identity through achievement versus expressing your identity along the way.
Correct.
It's don't ever make anything matter more than what matters most. Like if you were to sum it all up.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. It's the sum definition of turning away from idols. An idol is anything you make matter more.
Say it one more time.
Yeah, don't let anything matter more than what matters most.
Correct. I need to have that next to like my wall when I wake up every morning.
Next to your councils.
That's like put that in the middle and the councils around it. That way I'm like perspective. Yeah. Perspective. Yeah, I think that's my thing with it. When I was reading it, it's, dude, you are speaking to mankind about our pursuits. It's turning the things that are blessings into little gods. And we turn and make destructive decisions to acquire more of it.
That's right.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right.
Well, that's it.
That's the podcast, dude.
Albert, you gonna close it out with a sneak peek of Burning Fever?
All right, guys. So one of the little projects I'm doing is obviously building some AI music that is Christian based. So what I will tell you guys to do, go to YouTube, and this will be coming to Spotify too. I need you to search for Hymn House EXE, HYMN house.exe. Heck, I might even post a link with this Spotify episode so they can see it. So again, this little project is about, honestly, Christian music that we wish existed.
That's right.
That doesn't exist. So I'm kind of like building this out slowly. I've got my tracks ready. I just got to master all of them, correct all the little things in it, and then put it out there.
I think what's interesting is that I don't think either of us look like we listen to this genre.
No.
But I love it.
Dude. Oh, that's how I wake up, man.
Is it?
It is. It is battle anthems, dude.
So get you out of bed.
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. I love this stuff, dude. I like the progressive house stuff now. I do. It's nice from time to time. But like if you were to look at like my Plex music library, yeah, you're gonna find Mastodon. You're gonna find System of a Down, Korn, Metallica.
It was the stuff we grew up with.
It's gonna be all of them in there.
It was just like a rebellious stage that we grew up with.
I did it because see, people keep talking about the rebellious state. It's just capturing for me, it captured an internal emotion. Like again, I didn't have like the emotional language.
Yeah.
But if people say like, how do you feel? I don't know. Listen to Fractal from Metallica. That captures my mind today.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, and I started with Linkin Park.
Yeah.
I started with Linkin Park.
This makes me feel powerful.
Oh my gosh, dude. Yes. It's a relief. So, and like you said, I think, our church is going to play this stuff.
No.
Once you listen to it, you might be like, church isn't playing this. But again, if you're a Christian trying to look for some like metal stuff, you know,
that's right.
I think this will scratch that itch.
Yeah, it's basically, instead of listening to a song which is very female oriented from like K-Love, while you're trying to work out, this is that alternative.
This is the alternative.
That is stepping into Scripture,
Yeah.
and I'm excited for them to take a listen to it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. All right, guys. Until the next episode, we are out.
Adios.